Yeah, just excited about the win and the start of the season, the energy that the girls have had, just working hard each game and just really trying to focus on the being in the moment and staying in the moment each and every day. So it's been a good start.
Joanne, I know you've addressed this after previous wins, but what's been the big difference or the key to this winning streak in the way you're playing?
Well, I think it started prior to Christmas break, going down into Florida and just really going down there and feeling really good about their rhythm, and then coming back and playing Manhattan and coming really back after Christmas and just kind of staying in a groove. And, you know, we played a really tough, I've said this a million times, I thought we played a really tough non-conference schedule, which helped prepare us. And even though our record wasn't what we wanted, I thought we got exposed and we got a lot of experience, and we had a lot of grind to us. And so I feel like we've just been in the trenches for so long. We got a lot of injured people back, and I think the rhythm's been really good thus far. And I think there's been a lot of maturity this year, especially since going down to Florida and just being more responsible. And I think we make great adjustments in games, and I think the girls really follow through on that. I think, you know, the keys of the games they've been really honing in on, and one of the biggest things we always talk about is our effort and attention to detail, and I feel like we've been more consistent this year with that.
Have these past 7 games changed your outlook at all on what this team could accomplish later down the road?
I've always thought we can do. I never ever thought we were out of what our goals were, you know, to begin with. So again, I think if we would have played a very poor non-conference schedule, that, you know, might not have been the same. But I just really feel we challenged ourselves, and for the right reasons, to really be in a situation that we are here now.
For either player, I mean, when you're playing a team that's somewhat turnover prone, is there things you guys do to prepare, or ways you can kind of, you know, exploit that?
I think going into each game, we really focused on ourselves as a team and just making sure that we're getting better every day, especially in practices, so that it carries over. But our defense is something that we really pride ourselves in, and just making sure that we're aggressive no matter who we're playing.
Jocelyn, this is your first scoring game like this in a while. What was different today, if anything?
I think honestly, just my mindset. I think the past few games I've kind of been passive and hesitant and not quite looking to be aggressive, and just talking to the coaches, it's all mental for me. So looking to score, looking to make the right plays, and I think that was ultimately the change. Like, I put in the work. I get up extra shots every day, but just knowing, like, in the game, you know, to take my shot and look for that. I think that was probably the biggest difference for me.
Joanne, Jocelyn was obviously a focal point for the team coming into the year. How much more dangerous are you when she plays the way she's capable of?
Yeah, you know, somebody said to me after the game, you just never know who's going to be your leading scorer, huh? And that's one of the great things about us. I think, like Josh said, she's put in a lot of work, and, you know, sometimes just shooters, like, sometimes it is a mental game and you get in a little bit of a slump, and I think she's really worked hard to get herself to where she's at. And, you know, the balance that we have going in it, you just never know, you know. And so I think that's the thing that is making us pretty efficient and just really staying in games. Is just we've been on the defensive end of the floor. We've done a decent job rebounding the ball, and on any given night, we're typically having 3 and 4 people in double figures, which has been great.
For Joanne, then Jocelyn, what's been the key for this defensive, like, pressure the past couple of games? Because I looked, and starting ACC play, y'all haven't had less. Y'all forced at least 15 turnovers in every game, and it really seemed like today y'all really amped it up against Clemson.
I mean, we hope to play like that all the time. I think what ends up happening, we get sometimes we can get to the buzz and we can make adjustments in the buzz to kind of get us just going and trapping and things like that. When we get some easy offense out of it, I think the girls just love playing in it and get excited about it. So it's something we try and do more often than not. But I think they understand the defensive end of the floor, and rebounding for us is a must at each and every game. So we just want to keep getting better and better. And we have certain people out there that I just feel like as the year going on, there's certain lineups that the buzz works is really good. Like, I love being able to put Joss at the top of the buzz, you know, and she's great in the back, but it looks a lot different when she gets to be at the top, and that happens once we get to sub and bring JB, who has a little bit more size in. So there's just certain lineups that make it look really good. And I think tonight, when you saw a lot of the trapping and the steals, Joss was probably at the top of that at some point.
As a player, I think being able to change defenses and keep the opposing team on their toes is great for us. And I think just our energy and effort, honestly, when we're on defense and locked in and communicating, I think personally, like, there's nothing better than seeing the other team confused or like a little bit of fear in their eyes, and that's what happens when we change our defenses, when we're all locked in and together. So it definitely helps us to get turnovers, and we convert those into points. So it always helps.
Joanne, Felicia had a double-double today, plus 4 blocks. How far has she come, and how close is she to being the player you think she can ultimately be?
I think she hasn't even scratched the surface, to be honest. I think on the defensive end, obviously the blocks are a natural thing for her, but Tim and Coach Keisha have been working just really hard on her on finishing. And I think just Fee's mindset, like establishing herself down on the block and understanding, like, we want to give her the ball. So I think just her on every possession, I want the defense to have to worry about her on every possession, and that's what we want to get to. I think she's done a great job, and she's like all the girls. She gets in extra stuff. She works really hard with Coach Fred. They get a lot of shots up, and you look at her hook shot, you look at some of the moves she's got now, like she's finishing better this year for us, and I think it's just her building her confidence and understanding, like, we want to get her a touch every other time down the floor if possible, whether to shoot it or just make a decision for somebody else. So I think she's finding her teammates in that. I think on the defensive end is just continue to be a presence, and I think she can even be a greater presence for us. But she's had 4 or 5 double-doubles here in the last – she's had 5 double-double, 4 to 5. Yeah, and I think her confidence, and she spends a lot of time. There's certain, girls on the team that spend a lot – 2 of them right here in front of me spend a lot of time extra, and I think it's showing in their game.
Any last questions?